There's a fascinating pasuk in this week's parsha in Perek Zayin. The Torah says as follows: "Vayoma Hashem el Moshe, Re'eh, see, nesaticha leihim leparoi, that I have made you a master over Paroi." Now there are two questions that we can ask on this very pasuk. Question number one: what's the lashon of Re'eh, see? What was HaKadosh Baruch Hu showing Moshe Rabbeinu? Nothing. So what's the lashon of Re'eh, see? Question number two: the lashon Elohim is a lashon of God. True, here it means master, but why was the Rabbeinu Shalom using a lashon of God when he was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, "I've made you a master over Paroi"? Now let's take a step back. Let's understand. Klal Yisrael are in Mitzrayim, and the Rabbeinu Shalom sent Moshe Rabbeinu to do the most incredible acts of Nisim v'Niflos, amazing miracles, to be able to show all of the world, and specifically the Egyptians, who's running that world. There's an amazing Noam Elimelech. The Rebbe of Melech of Lezhensk explains the pasuk in this following way. And he says that very often, if you want to raise somebody else up from a low place, you often have to go down to where they're holding. And you can only do so when the acts that you do resemble very much the acts of what they're doing. And he gives an example. Paro, as we know, claimed to be a god. A god doesn't go to the bathroom. How did Moshe Rabbeinu refute that? By doing acts of God. He was able to do the most amazing things that nobody else could replicate. It was an act of God. And therefore he showed Paroi and all of the world that it was a lashon of Elohim. It was a godly act. Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to raise up Klal Yisrael, and by doing so, had to go down to the level of Paroi. And that refuted Paro's claim. The story is told of a father and a son that walked into a hotel, and they check into their room, and the receptionists notice that the couple are very quiet. Doesn't make any sense. They go up to the room, an hour or two later they come down to dinner. They sit at the dinner table, picking at their food, silently, hardly saying a word. Eventually the boy goes up to his room, and the father stays down in the lobby and goes to the reception and says, "Can I please speak to the manager?" So the receptionist says, "Is there anything I can do? Is there a mistake? Is there a problem with the room? I'll fix it." And he said, "No, everything's fine. I need to speak to the manager." The manager comes out. The man takes him to the side and said, "That boy that I was with is my 14-year-old son. He's ill, very seriously ill. And tomorrow he's starting a type of therapy that he may lose his hair. And therefore we decided to spend tonight together to be able to bond, to be able to have some father and son quality time. However, my son decided tonight he's going to shave his hair off. He's not going to give in. He's not going to lose, and therefore he's going to shave his hair off before it falls out. And I," said the father, "in order to give strength to my son, going to also shave my head. And therefore," he tells the manager of the hotel, "I'm asking you, please can you let all the staff know that when we come down tomorrow to breakfast, we shouldn't be looked upon in an interesting way. We're just doing our thing and everybody should continue as normal." And the manager assured the man, "Absolutely, I'll talk to all the members of the staff, everything will be great." The next morning, the father and the son, both with heads shaven, come down to breakfast. And they notice the 4 or 5 members of staff that are working in the dining room, working in the kitchen, are going on as normal. And every single one of them had their head shaved off. Sometimes we look at other people. They may not look like us. They may not dress like us. They may not speak like us. But we all know someone that needs a smile, that needs a hug, that needs a reassurance, a compliment, a good word. Whether we know the person or whether we can just call out to him and we can find that person that needs something. Says the Noam Elimelech in this week's parasha. We can be able to help so many people, to raise them up from where they are. And in order to do that, we sometimes have to go to where they're holding and to go to where they're standing. And to do that, we'll raise them up. What a schos. Have an amazing Shabbos.
To listen to more by Rabbi Avi Wiesenfeld, visit